Swamiji, what is the purpose of human life?
This is a difficult question because the problem with this is that every person has a direct experience of his or her own life. So if every person will ask this question, what is the purpose of my human life? See, this is a very good question. If everyone will ask himself or herself the question, what is the purpose of my human life? What this person will answer. So in our scriptures, we say human life has 4 purposes: artha, kama, dharma, moksha, the 4 purusharthas. Artha. First of all, the purpose of human life is to sustain itself. Artha means making a living, acquiring wealth. Why do we need to acquire wealth? So we can live. Let's say you need to sustain your own existence. If you have a family, you need to sustain your family's existence. If there is an ashram, you need to sustain the ashram's existence. So for this, we need to acquire some form of material wealth. It's called artha. It's legitimate to make a living. Second is called kama. Kama means desire. So there are desires which are righteous. Human desires, even worldly desires, but righteous. So they are considered to be legitimate. So people who have such desires may not be ready for the life of sannyasa, life of renunciation, but they can lead a very good and righteous human life. And they can fulfill their desires in a righteous manner. Righteous manner means without hurting others, and to the opposite, benefiting others, and so on. And then there is dharma. Dharma means righteousness. So I acquire wealth in order to take care of my own life and the life of the people that I take care of, and so on, my community, and so on. And then I fulfill human desires, but in a righteous manner, without hurting others. And not only not hurting, but benefiting others. It's called kama. But now there is a principle which is called righteousness, which is I should do my level best to learn what are those things which are bringing maximum good to others and are minimizing the evil. In other words, refraining from evil and doing good as much as possible. So we don't have enough knowledge. We need to learn what is dharma, what is adharma, what is goodness, and what is the opposite of goodness. What will benefit people, what will bring suffering to people. And I should try to follow dharma. I should try to follow righteousness. Even little children, many times they would say, but this is not fair. They'll say, this is not fair. Now, if you turn it into higher language, you'll say, this is not righteous. Children will say, this is not fair. We will say, this is not righteous. Let's say you play a game with a child and you cheat. The child will go wild. It's unfair, it's unfair, it's unfair. Now, in our language, you will say this is unrighteous. So if you take life as a divine play, we have to play it in a righteous way, in a righteous manner, bringing maximum benefit to others and reducing suffering. We need to learn how to do it. This is called dharma, righteousness. And then ultimately, as human beings, all of us have a higher purpose to realize the self and to attain spiritual liberation. All of us. This is the highest human goal. So human life, according to our teaching, has 4 goals. Artha, acquiring wealth using righteous means, not cheating, not just using in right, just to do it for good, and fulfilling desires, but in a righteous manner. Doing good to ourselves, doing good to others. and learning what is righteous, what is unrighteous, following the path of righteousness, and ultimately following the path that leads to self-realization and spiritual liberation, moksha. These are the 4 human goals. This is according to our teaching, but a person needs to understand these things directly. We need to meditate on this. We need to reflect on this, and if we really understand these things, they become part of us, they become part of our life, and eventually we realize them and we experience them directly. So these are the 4 Purusharthas, these are the 4 goals of life according to the yogic teaching. Om Tat Sat.